Welcome back, everybody. It's been a couple weeks. I've been watching a lot of movies, catching up on 2024 releases that I didn't get to see when they first came out this year, and just watching some classics, just getting a lot of the movies that I feel like I missed this year that I wanted to watch. I've been doing over the past couple weeks. With that being said, I will be doing a lot more reviews. The 2025 movie year is a very exciting one. I have so many movies that I'm excited for. First year where the strikes really aren't in play. Every movie, the schedule shows that it's going to be a really great year. And I'll be seeing The Wolfman tonight. And that review will be coming out sometime in the next couple of days. But I was able to watch one of my most anticipated movies of last year, of 2024, last night, finally released wide. Well, not wide, still limited technically, but way more cities than New York and LA, but still not wide across the whole country. And that is Brady Corbet's The Brutalist. I was very blessed that there was an IMAX showing near me last night, about 40 minutes away. I saw that it was on the schedule. I booked my ticket immediately. Me and two of my really good friends went and saw it, and it was a very insane experience in a good way. This is everything you've heard correctly. If you don't know what The Brutalist is, before I get into my main thoughts, The Brutalist follows Lazslo Toth, played by Adrian Brody. He's a Jew and immigrating to the America right after World War II ends in Europe, and he's a renowned architect in the European landscape, in the European continent. He's done a lot of brutalist style buildings. That's why the movie is titled The Brutalist. And it follows him as he's coming to America, and this a wealthy family reaches out to him to build his magnum opus as a architect up until this point, and it follows the journey, the American dream, the immigrant's journey, the highs and the absolute lows. It does do both sides, and that's what I will get into very well. It shows you both sides of that coin, how it can be really great being here, and the rotten core that sometimes America can be. Um, and that's where I want to start with most of my praises for this. I don't really have a lot of negatives. This is one of the best movies to come out last year. It's a phenomenal movie that it's one of the best in a while. They just don't make movies like this anymore. That's what you've seen in a lot of reviews and marketing and articles. And I have to say it too because this feels like a movie that would have never been released in our current day and age, in our movie landscape. I'm not saying our movie landscape is in any bad shape. It's just the consumer and the audience and studios just have seemed to gone away from this type of epic American picture, and it seems like Americans want an appetite for this. This made more money than Better Man this past weekend on 1,000 less screens. Like, people, if you do it right and if you do it with care and respect, people love a good 3.5 hour American epic. As in, like, There Will Be Bloods, Godfathers, as such. These are stories that we like to go on. These are journeys that we appreciate and want to see the sides of each coin. And I want to give props to Brady Corbet for that because most immigrant stories, usually, not all, are very, not lighthearted, but they end on a good note. And I'm not saying that The Brutalist doesn't end on a good note, but Brady Corbet masterfully shows each side of the coin, as the first part before the intermission is a very high, very amazing way of how you can make it in America. And the second half of this movie is how that dream and all that you've had can come crashing down in an instance, and how you respond to that, and how you become, and what are you going to do with what America has done to you. And I think that is incredible writing. Um, Along with that, the main points of that is that while Adrian Brody is building a basically a community center for Guy Pearce's character. He's a very wealthy man in Pennsylvania, and basically it just follows over about 10 to 15 years of getting this project built, getting his wife back over from Europe to rejoin him in America, and how Americans may seem like they love you, but at this point in time, they really didn't want anyone of European descent here, and that is shown very eloquently and very respectfully throughout this movie. This is a 3.5 hour epic. Like I said, it throws a lot at you, and I'm not going to say I understood everything on first viewing, but what I was able to take in, especially with Guy Pearce's character, and his sort of repressed feelings and acting, his sort of putting on a facade in a way. He was written so incredibly well. I think Guy Pearce, this script, I've seen some knacks on it. I think that it's really great, and I think it is the highlight of the movie. The cinematography and direction from Brady Corbet are stunning. Don't get me wrong. This movie is incredible in scale, beautiful to look at in Vista Vision. It's gorgeous. But the writing here, Brady Corbet just doesn't tell you what's going on. He doesn't over explain it to you, and that's what I feel like a lot of movies today are doing. They are just spoon feeding you information and not letting you figure it out and put ideas and things together for yourself. And Brady does that so incredibly well here. He You don't have to go too hard, but he's not literally doing a scene showing you what he wants to achieve from this movie, what messages he wants to pull, how these characters are interacting, and certain callbacks to certain scenes from earlier in the film. He doesn't do that. He lets you put together on your own without putting it in your face, and he does it incredibly well through the script and through the writing, and especially through Guy Pearce's character throughout the entirety of this 3.5 hours. Um, Adrian Brody is doing incredible work. This is the best he's done since The Pianist in 2002. He probably will win the Oscar. I've seen The Complete Unknown. I didn't do a review on it, and I thought it was great. And Timothy Chalamet is really good, but it's going to be really interesting to see which either Timothy or him get that Oscar. As you can see from behind me, great poster, great performance, but I think Adrian Brody does egg him out just a little bit and does just sensational work here. Also, Guy Pearce, best performance of his career by far. This is him being used in the correct way. All of the great parts about him as an actor, his strengths, are used here greatly. It's done so well. Felicity Jones doesn't come into the second part of the film. Has an incredible scene near the end, and is a very interesting symbol and indicator throughout the story of the American dream and the process of which getting your family here, and your family necessarily wanting to leave as soon as they've gotten here was an interesting dynamic and subplot that I really enjoyed. But overall, I don't want to spoil too much. I'm just saying, not vague, but just this movie is great. Everything you've heard about it, what you've read, is true. It's monumental. It's something we haven't seen in a very long time. I think this should win Best Picture, probably. This is a movie that I want more of these made. These are bringing people that watch movies together. This IMAX showing from where I live was basically sold out, and that's, to me, when a movie like this is garnering that sort of attraction and demand in outside of New York and LA due to marketing and the considerable hype this has gotten. It makes me happy for movies, and it makes me happy that people still want this, and it makes me very happy that we are getting movies like this still. Um, so yeah, those are all my thoughts. There is a lot to unpack with this movie. I would love to talk about it in the comments below if you've been able to see it or when you see it after seeing this review. Um, Please give me suggestions for movies coming out later this year or within the next couple of months that you would like to see me review that maybe aren't at the top of my head or on my list. And like I said, I'll be reviewing Wolfman within the next couple of days. I appreciate you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, or night. Take care.